I can't hear myself, but we still gonna rock. I'm your instigator / moderator, Don Maroc. To my right, Pyro the Fireman.
Pyro, we in the building. Let's get it popping. Episode 30.
Yeah, PS Dot.
Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's the livest one, y'all.
Adriel the Natural.
Yo, I just want to give a special shout out to my mama. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Mom.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom.
We might have left Phil on the way. Shout out to my man. Or the cameraman. I ain't even gonna say his name. I think I'm mad at him. I'll tell him why a little later. Check it out. What do we gotta start with turn that down, turn the music down a little bit. The streak is over, man. The streak is over, man. Natural. We knew it was gonna take a tough team to beat them. Jason Kidd did it. How you feel about it?
I watched that whole entire game. It was a very, very impressive performance by the Milwaukee Bucks, man. It just showed that versatility, their length, their quickness, their athleticism matched up perfectly with the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Golden State Warriors had a little bit of energy let down, which is understandable. The last game of a long road trip. So I think this was more about the Milwaukee Bucks coming together than the Golden State Warriors not doing anything. After all, 24-1 is nothing to sneeze at. So
Whoa. So Milwaukee Bucks get no props? It was.
I said it's more about the Milwaukee
Gotcha.
Bucks
Okay.
than the Golden State Warriors, because it shows you the potential of Milwaukee. Because, Golden State made their runs, and usually they demoralize people when they go on their runs. Milwaukee kept coming and kept putting that pressure on them. Fast break, great defense. Basically, they were another version of the Golden State Warriors. They matched up beautifully with them. And I just think in the Eastern Conference they're gonna be something to be reckoned with.
Shout to my man Left Phil.
Yeah, I'm in the building.
What's going on,
Hey,
man?
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear myself.
Me neither. You're just gonna have to wing it today. We freestyling today.
It's all good. But real quick, the Golden State Warriors lost, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Pop
do you
champagne, pop champagne like you won the championship.
PS, did you see the game?
Nah, I had a different kind of night.
Oh,
right.
You have my kind of night, I
Here
think.
we go.
Okay.
But I definitely heard about it. I think, to be honest, I like Milwaukee, but that game was more about Golden State and that overtime win the night before. I think they went double overtime or something like that. To be honest, I called it. I was talking to some people yesterday. I said I think they're gonna lose today. Coming back after a double overtime, game and a back-to-back, and you got to play Milwaukee on the road. I just think they was tired, man. I just think, you know what I mean. And then Clay. I think Clay played, but he coming off his little ankle thing. I just had a feeling if they was gonna lose, it was gonna be yesterday.
Well, I thought they would lose a game on this East Coast trip. I just didn't think it would be to the Bucks. But last game of the road trip, coming off the back-to-back, got a couple injuries, which they didn't have to deal with before. It's tough. The NBA's a tough league. They was bound to lose.
Yeah.
And, looking at the game, I was kind of glad in a way. I couldn't wait for them to lose, to bust their little bubble a little bit, because they've been celebrating, doing all that too much. But when they lost last night, I realized I really give a damn too much.
Yeah. I didn't get the feeling I thought I was
Yeah, me neither. Okay, they lost. Let's move on.
I actually wanted them to go undefeated until they
Christmas.
played. No, not even that. I want them to beat them. But I actually wanted Durant and Westbrook to get that first shot at it.
That would have been. They played before Christmas.
February.
No, they play in February sometime.
That's
Oh,
what
that would have been tough.
Left Phil.
Yeah, what's good, baby?
Did you pop that champagne last night, man?
Oh man, I was happy, yo. I ain't even on front, yo. I'm not trying to, come on like a, Golden State hater, but I was just tired of this undefeated season. I was just ready for it to end. But at the end of the day, I can't take credit where credit's due. They're a real good team, so you can't take that away from them. But let's bring them down a notch. I'm tired of talking about this 24. Unbeaten streak. Let's talk about something else, yo.
It's probably a relief to them.
But
in a way.
here's the thing. There's two things I took away from that game. First thing, two things that Milwaukee did not have in the playoffs last season. Greg Monroe and Jabari Parker, man. Those two dudes are going to take this Milwaukee team to a whole different level. Also, another thing, the look on Steph Curry's face after that game. He looked so confused. He was like, yo, I really don't understand what the hell is going on. But I'll tell you one thing, I feel sorry for their next opponent, because they going to get murdered.
Milwaukee's length pause, is gonna give a lot of teams problems.
For sure.
Because
Yeah,
you could put the Greek Freak on. He can
They
play all
can,
five.
they can switch to anything. They
Yeah.
switch everything.
And
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
perfect when it comes to them.
No
Now
doubt.
listen, we got a situation in the NFL. It's actually in sports when you have coaches calling out players, players calling out coaches, players calling out teammates. Pyro, let's talk about that, man.
I don't, the thing is this, I always of the type, I don't like stuff like that played out in the media. If you got to say something, don't take it the punk way, man, and go through the media. Call that player in the office or pull a coach to the side and say what you got to say.
And for everybody that doesn't know, this is based off Adrian Peterson, McCoy, Murray, Randy Whitman. So, just elaborate on it.
Yeah, the Adrian Peterson thing, I understand his frustration, man. You got the best running back in the league. He's reaching the end of his prime. Give that man the ball, man. Like, regardless, he's the reason why y'all win. Along with y'all defense, give him the ball. So I understand it. But again, talk about that behind the scenes. When you call him out and do all that other stuff, I think Adrian Peterson got a little extra chip on his shoulder because of, he went out of Minnesota and they kept him there. So he has to, try to play the good guy role at the same time while trying to get his touches and, want to still prove that he's the best. So the only problem I have with is handle it behind closed doors. That's it.
Phil.
My one thing is, for that particular, when his comments came out, it was after that Seattle game. So do you feel that it was because that particular game he didn't get enough touches, or he feel overall throughout the whole season he hasn't got enough touches?
He can't feel that. He's leading the league in rushing. He's getting the ball.
Okay,
But
so,
it was 2 games he had under double-digit touches.
But he has to understand. I mean, I totally agree with you. He shouldn't be trying to play this out in the media. And media plays a lot of and getting these guys to say certain things or engaging them. To get confrontation, to get this type of story. But the whole thing with that game, they were down by 3 touchdowns. After you get down by so much, you're not gonna get a lot of touches because your team is gonna have to throw the ball more to get back in the game. Exactly. So I don't understand the timing of that comment. If it was because over the season he thinks he's not getting enough touches, it's okay. But for that particular game, for him to come out and say that right after that, it made no sense. It made totally no sense.
Well, maybe the coach knows that Peterson fumbles when it's crunch time. But that's
you know what? That's an excellent point. You can't go calling out the coach and then when you get your opportunity against the Arizona Cardinals, you're fumbling the ball at critical junctures of the game. Adrian Peterson, now I respect you. You're a great player. You're one of the all-time greats. I mean, you and Jim Brown is like I'm watching the same type of person on that field. But Adrian Peterson has had a fumbling problem throughout his career.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times throughout the season, I've seen him have some very untimely fumbles. So get your stuff together. If you're going to call people out, be ready to be called out.
P.S.
Yo, I hate when players, coaches, anybody call out teammates or other coaches. I never played in the NBA, NFL, but I did play sports.
Right.
We've had fights in the locker room, argued on the bus. We never went out to everybody else like, yo, this dude ain't passing me the ball. No, you handle it in-house. To me, this new wave of thinking how players and coaches too, because coaches do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't respect it. Now, if you're gonna call out the team or anybody, say we.
Right,
That's
right.
different, yo. What we need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't call out everybody else as if you wasn't on the field. That I don't. You know what I'm saying? And Adrian Peterson, after everything he's been through,
Right.
I think he should have fell back a little bit because I mean his team and everything, coach, they had his back, man.
Really, that coach. He went to bat for him.
They had his back, and everything he's been through. I think that comment, sometimes in the heat of the moment, he ain't not no young player. Like, yo, okay, you didn't have a good game. You didn't get touches. Talk to him on the way back to Minnesota or whatever, home.
Real quick, Pyro alluded to something. Do you think that he wants out of Minnesota?
Yeah, he been one of them.
I think
And one thing that coach, yes, he had his back, but he had his back for selfish reasons. Because he also had made it known when Peterson wanted out, he has no choice. You either come back here and play. That's what he said. He said you either come back here and play or you're not going to play at all.
I don't see anything wrong with a coach wanting to keep the best running back in the game who's under contract.
Right, that's what I'm
I
saying.
can't blame
Ain't
the coach.
nothing wrong with it, but
I can't blame the coach for that.
But Peterson
Adrian
can have a chip on his shoulder for that.
Adrian Peterson has no legs to stand on with this. With all the stuff you went through,
I agree.
you still got paid.
Exactly.
They're bringing you back. Okay, you got into trouble. Nobody made you get into trouble.
Right.
They were loyal to you. They're like, yo, we're gonna pay you. We're gonna keep you. And at the end of the day, he is the face of the franchise. franchise. You do lead the NFL in rushing. If you're not getting any touches, there's no way in hell you're leading the NFL in rushes. This identity of this team is Adrian Peterson.
Right.
So for him to have sour grapes after one bad game because Seattle wiped the floor with you, come back the next game and destroy these cats. And what do? You're fumbling all over the place, just like you fumbled in the Green Bay Packers game. Get your stuff together, because he's talking like his doo-doo don't stink. And I'm very surprised. I did not think Adrian Peterson was this type of dude. But he's he's showing a real, very selfish attitude over these last few months.
I think he's had that all year.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must admit, this is a moment. This is a moment for the locker room, the audience. This guy, Adrian Natural, could be one of the most biased people I know ever.
I'm not biased. I just say how I feel, man.
And today, he's keeping it 100. I'm proud of you, brother.
Oh, I always keep it 100, man. I'm tired of you lying to the people.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Man. I'm tired of you lying to the. I always keep it.
Damn, it's crazy. I'm trying to hit the clap button and it won't clap for him.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yo, we brought up McCoy.
There you go.
I think the whole McCoy situation is totally different. He's not talking about his current coach. He's talking about his past coach, and I'm loving it.
He's off fair game.
Listen, I'm loving it, man, because we stated right here on the locker room before the season started. I remember a couple of us saying, Chip Kelly better win. Because he coming in this NFL like it's college, like he's Bill Belichick of the game, and you're not. So your mad scientist games better work, or else they're going to revolt against you. And that's what's happening. You know what I mean? And when the word gets out across the whole NFL, ain't nobody going to want to come play with you, man. You done cut Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, LaShawn McCoy. Cut them or traded them because of their contracts, and you ain't like how much money they were making, whatever. All these guys were highly productive in your system, and you didn't even speak to McCoy before the move happened. So, yeah, I heard that, allegedly he tried to call him this week and got hung up on. He came out in the media and said, Chip Kelly said, I would like to shake his hand and talk to him. And McCoy said, there's nothing for us to say at this point. And I'm just, I'm cool with the McCoy situation, man. I'm loving it.
I gotta agree with you. P.S. What you think on it?
I'm cool with it, but I wish he wouldn't have said it. Sometimes, man, I told you.
That's why we're right to you.
Silence is loud, man. It's just like, when I don't even gotta tell you I'm not gonna shake your hand. You'll find out when I walk by you at the end of the game. See, now what he did is put all this spotlight on this game and his team. If they come out and lose, you're gonna look crazy. He gonna look crazy. For what reason? But it's no coincidence what team he plays for and who's the coach. Yeah. All that. Sometimes, just shut up and play. You know what I'm saying? Just shut up and play. To be honest, they did you a favor letting you out of there. To be honest, they did you a favor. Because Philly looking crazy and all them expectations they had with his genius, they looking crazy.
I mean, they did do him a favor because he's playing with a much better quarterback in Tyrod Taylor. Listen, I don't mind people calling people out as long as it makes sense. Okay? When it doesn't make sense, then you look crazy. In case of McCoy, damn right. If I'm producing for you, Deshaun Jackson, production. Jeremy Maclin, production. LaShawn McCoy, production. And you get rid of me like I'm a bag of balls, but you keep somebody like Riley Cooper because he's a good blocking wide receiver. You don't make no damn sense. So I don't mind LaShawn McCoy calling out Chip Kelly because he's like, I don't know what this fool is doing over there. Not only do you trade me, I don't get a phone call or nothing. I'm the star of the team. One thing I think that Chip Kelly is realizing that this is not college where you can just dismiss people. These guys are making more money than you, okay? You, like I always say, head coaches in today's professional sports, not only do you have to be a good X's and O's guy, you have to be a manager of egos. Now, you could be a straight shooter like Bill Belichick, but you know what? Cats respect that. You tell me to my face, it's not working out for this and that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That's why Bill Belichick doesn't get a lot of the flack. That's why Bill Belichick, he does have Tom Brady. That's why he wins too. But at the end of the day, if you straight up with somebody, you keep it real, you look that man in his eye, you can only respect that.
Natural, I have a question for you. What is in your opinion, what is a productive way to call a person out through the media, in your opinion?
Case in point, we brought up Randy Whitman when he said Bradley Beal was playing too soft.
Right.
It's not a coincidence that without Bradley Beal in the lineup, the Washington Wizards came out starting hot. The thing with Bradley Beal, one thing I noticed with him versus the rest of the players on the team is he's very deliberate in the way he plays. He doesn't have that energy. He might be the second most talented player on the team, but Randy Whitman has a style that he wants for this team. Keep going hard. Keep putting the pressure on the defense. And a lot of times, I think the team slows themselves down in order to get Bradley Beal to rock. So in that particular instance, I see why he said, okay, he's playing soft.
Okay. Left.
What's good?
Let's go back to the original question with Shady McCoy.
Yeah,
and Chip Kelly.
my whole thing is I don't like players, we're not talking about football. At the end of the day, we're not talking about football. This has nothing to deal with the game. This is some personal something that happened in the past. I mean, he has a good gripe. I understand that. But like I said, through the media, you shouldn't have this. You shouldn't try to get your message across. You're not talking about football. Just leave this alone. Just move on. You're taking away from the game. You got this sideshow, going back and forth for what? To me, this takes away from the whole game itself. So if you're not talking about football, don't say nothing.
Yeah,
Lev, you're the most peaceful person I've ever met in my life. Yeah, for real.
Yo, but just check it out. I'm gonna pick what they said. Actually, both these instances, I agree with what they were saying.
Yeah.
But that's why I always say when it comes to negotiating, that's when I make my point. That's why I never get mad at players when they trying to get money. And, this player's not worth. Yes, I am worth it. This is when I'm going to make my point. I'm going to hold out. I'm going to do all the things necessary to get my paper. That's what I wish these dudes would understand and stop listening to me with this loyal stuff. You see how loyal, was they loyal to you in Philly? No, so why should you be loyal to them? You be loyal to you and yours and your family.
Deshaun Jackson went through a lot of that.
A lot. And before we even get off the topic, real quick, because I want to get to the next one. We got a juicy one next. What about DeMarco Murray? How'd that work out for him? Sitting next to the owner on a plane coming home.
It got him benched.
Snitching.
It got him benched.
But that's the thing. He didn't call anybody out in the media. Somebody reported about that meeting. He personally did not call anybody out through the media.
So you like damned if you do and damned if you don't in the situation. It got him demoted to fourth string today. He's the fourth string running back today.
He must have told that owner some good info to get demoted like that.
At the end of the day, sports is about production, man. Either you get it done or you don't. You calling people out or being called out, at the end of the day, if you do that and you perform, you're going to look like a genius. If you don't perform, you're going to look crazy. That's just the way sports works, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, this week in the media, who was it? Somebody compared J.J. Watt and Lawrence Taylor to each other. I definitely need to hear Cat's opinions on that, man. Who was that? Bill Belichick who did that?
Bill Belichick said he's just like LT.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting statement because Lawrence Taylor is such a historic figure in not only the NFL, just in sports. So for him to compare J.J. Watt to him was kind of crazy, especially being that Bill Belichick coached Lawrence Taylor for such a long period of time. Mm-hmm. So when he said that initially, I'm like, huh, really? But then if you look at the numbers, J.J. Watt, as far as sacks and getting to the quarterback, he is on pace to destroy a lot of Lawrence Taylor's records. I just think that to compare the two of them, one is a defensive lineman, one is an outside linebacker. They have two totally different functions. They affect the game in two totally different ways. I think it would have made a lot more sense if he compared him to somebody like a Reggie White, who also played on the defensive line and wreaked havoc on the defensive line, changed games from the defensive line position.
What you think, Left?
I mean, he almost took exactly what I wanted to say. Because, at first, if you look at the stats, like we said, J.J. Watt got 70 sacks only in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Lawrence Taylor had 132 sacks in 13 years. So if you look at that production, he's going to surpass him. But you like Natural said, they play two different positions, and they bring too much. Lawrence Taylor had to do a lot more playing linebacker than J.J. Watt has to be playing on the defensive line. Because Lawrence Taylor, he has to rush the quarterback. He has to play great on the run, and he has to drop back in coverage and cover, the tight end or whoever's coming in the backfield. So he had a greater presence. But what Bill Belichick was saying, that the impact that J.J. Watt has on the game right now is similar to the same impact that Lawrence Taylor had in the game at the time of his prime. And I can kind of see that because the whole team has to concentrate on J.J. Watt. They have to, when you play Lawrence Taylor, who you say you have to block? Lawrence Taylor. Now, JJ is commanding that type of respect. So in those regards, they're very, very similar. And the impact that he's having on the game right now and at the height of his career, I can see the comparison for those criteria. But it's a little stretching, like you said. They play 2 different positions, so it's a little different. But I could give it so much I could see it's okay.
You know what's crazy about that comment also? If this was like 4 weeks ago when the Texans were struggling, then that comment would be a little crazy. But J.J. Watt has single-handedly turned that Houston Texans season around, and they're looking to shock the world by being the New England Patriots today. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one today. That one should be real interesting. I expect a low-scoring game. I think they said Gronk's playing, though, right?
He's playing.
So that might
he's
change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to switch it up a little bit right now.
All right.
We're going to talk a little bit of basketball.
Okay.
We're going to bring that ball, and we're going to get to our locker room locks in a minute.
Okay.
When we get the team back handling some business. But listen, this week in basketball, man, I want to talk about Carmelo. Melo was in the media. He seems a little frustrated right now. He's complaining about refs not getting respect. He's complaining to the front office. The Knicks are playing too slow, not playing at the pace they started off the season with. What y'all think, man? Y'all think he's getting to the point where he's about to ask for out?
I don't even think he's going to ask for out, but I've been looking at a lot of Knicks games, and what I can see that he's not getting a lot of calls. You know, he's not something that he's actually making up. I've seen a lot of times he's getting fouled and he's not getting the call. And not to say, because I read exactly what he said. He said, I'm not one of those players that's going to go in a flop. I'm not a flopper. So he's kind of saying that since he's not flopping, he's not getting these certain type of calls. I don't know. The refs still try and say that his game is so hard because he initiates a lot of the contact of when he starts his move. But that doesn't make a difference. If you get fouled, I don't care if you initiate. If you get fouled, you're getting fouled.
Who initiates the contact more than James Harden? Anyway, go.
True. So that's a point example. And he did compare, like James Harden, like a LeBron James.
That's why.
That's
why he gets the calls.
The calls that LeBron James get, the calls that Dwayne Wade get.
LeBron definitely
he said he doesn't get those. So I kind of agree on those. I'm gonna let you go. But the second part, as far as the Knicks not running, I definitely agree because I look at that second team runs the ball. That first unit stinks. Calderon needs to get off the goddamn team. I'm tired of this dude. So that starting unit, they need to switch out. They got Derek. They got the Williams dude. I don't know if Grant fell into the doghouse. He doesn't play. They need to put Callaway in the starting lineup. Somebody they need to stay at that fast because that's when they exceed. When they're pushing the ball, everybody's getting touches. And it's just a different team. The front unit, every time they're in the game, they get down by 12 points. Who brings it back? The second unit, because they bring that energy. They're pushing the ball. They're aggressive. And listen, I can't even say anymore. I totally agree with Anthony.
Real quick, Natural, before you go, I have a question for you, Left Field. On that, do you think Carmelo, when he says, he comes out in the media and says, I can't flop like these other guys. I can't do this. I can't do that. Are you putting pride before results? Because what do you want at the end of the day? A trophy for not flopping? Or not trying to get the call? Not trying to master the art like some of these other guys? I don't like it, but it's what they're doing. So it's either adapt or go.
His whole thing, it was like that's part of his game, and he's not going to develop that now. And he shouldn't. Because if you get it fouled, he's supposed to get the call. I don't understand what these refs are doing. As a blatant call at the end of the game against Sacramento. Yeah. Then the ref's going to come out, he did foul him. What does that do after the goddamn game, yo? Call these plays in the game after a review, it was a foul. That makes no damn sense to me, yo. A foul is a foul. What's the definition of foul? A goddamn foul.
Listen, this is nothing new with Carmelo Anthony. He has always been given the short end of the stick when it comes to fouls. And just like he said, he's not a flopper. I don't mind him coming out and saying, listen, I can't get in the mindset of flopping. Maybe he feels that'll throw his game off a little bit to even be conscious of that. And, case in point, we brought up James Harden and LeBron James. These guys know how to sell calls in order to get to the free throw line. I just think at the end of the day, Carmelo, you've been dealing with this for 13 years, man. Just do what you do, man. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense for you to continue doing it. A referee came right out and said straight up, you are probably the most difficult person to officiate in this league. Same thing happened with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal used to get frustrated because people used to kill him.
Yeah, very good point.
The same thing they said. They said it's really hard to call to referee the game with you because you initiate so much contact. It's just part of the game. Just keep it moving and see what happens.
That's a very good comparison with Shaquille O'Neal. I agree with you.
Let me chime in real quick on. I agree with Carmelo what he's saying, but he has to learn how to sell calls better. That's just part of what it is. Mike did it. LeBron does it. Kobe, you got to learn. That's part of the game. If I'm gonna get an advantage by doing something, why wouldn't I do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to do. Anybody who watched Mike, I'm a Jordan fan. Mike just go under the rim, come under and clap. You know how many calls he got because he clapped? People think he got hit.
That's not why he got the calls.
Remember
when he would go to the referee at the dead ball and he would do this?
Yeah.
Give me.
But
you would be working in McDonald's if I was the next call.
But
and
you
that's
know
what happened.
all that you gotta politic, try any way to get a call. I seen coaches talk about the refereeing in the off days because they trying to get calls. But Carmelo has to learn how to sell calls. And in my opinion, he needs to go harder to the rim more often and stop settling for jump shots. Maybe you get more calls. You know what I'm saying? You go to the rim twice and shoot 8 jump shots. I'm not giving you no call.
I have another reason why, unfortunately for Carmelo Anthony, he doesn't get a lot of respect from the referees. It's all tied into that 2003 draft class. Going into that draft, he was supposed to be the second most decorated player going. And now, when you look at Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo, in NBA standing, he's a distant fourth. I think that plays a lot into a certain amount of respect that referees have for you. Case in point, I was watching the Golden State game last night. What's crazy to me that I'm noticing, first of all, everybody's comparing Steph Curry to Jordan in terms of where he's just killing people from anywhere on the floor. You know another way I could compare Steph Curry to Jordan? I don't think people could breathe on Steph Curry anymore, man. I was watching that game, and there were a lot of phantom calls. If you just touch Steph Curry now, it's going to be a foul call. I think a lot of that has to do with the referees' respect for your game. And I don't think that referees really respect Carmelo.
That's him. It's his style of play, too, because what has James Harden accomplished?
He's a flopper. He's a flopper.
Yeah, okay.
He sells his calls.
A lot of players who you can name. DeMarcus Cousins, he gets calls. Yeah. It's to
they
me.
throw their head back. You touch them, they throw their head back.
DeRozan, a lot of people.
Yeah,
but if my headband is in the second row, clearly somebody, I didn't throw it, somebody hit it there.
We all know basketball. If you go.
Well, that's what it takes for him to get a call.
Yeah.
Last night there was a call where he really initiated contact. He went into somebody, I can't remember whose chest he went all the way in. In my opinion, it was a charge, but he got the call because his headband was all twisted all over the place.
When you go to the basket and you get fouled, the ref don't call it. But it's obvious he don't call it. What you supposed to do the next time you get the ball? You're supposed to go again because the ref know he missed the call. Exactly. So now he gonna give you a crazy foul that wasn't even a foul. Exactly. Carmelo settles a lot for jump shots, man. He does settle a lot.
He does settle a
lot.
Well, yeah,
thank you.
Well, if y'all didn't hear Pyro, he said that means he can't complain about the pace. That means they're playing too slow, which I agree with. Yeah. Now, P.S. Yep. You put up a post on social media that had it going. It was just going crazy for 3 days. Explain to him what you did.
Okay, now usually we put up our locker room question of the day. This one was a picture collage of all-time great NBA shooters, and the question was, name the 5 greatest NBA shooters of all time, any era, whatever, just the 5 greatest. And people was going in. It was a good little conversation, so we wanted to continue it on the show.
Well, being that it was your question,
I go last.
You go first.
Oh, all right. Because I didn't even answer. I usually don't even answer on a lot of the posts.
Right.
But my 5 would be Steph Curry, Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and Chris Mullin. That would be my 5.
I like that.
My top 5: Steph Curry, and this is in order: Steph Curry, Larry Bird, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, and none other than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. When you want to talk about jump shooters, he was one of the most efficient jump shooters in history. Now, he wasn't necessarily known for his three-point shooting until later on in his career, but anytime Mike was putting up a jumper, it was water. So I got to put Michael Jordan in there in terms of top 5 shooters of all time.
And just to elaborate on your question, it didn't have to be three-point shooting.
Yeah,
right?
No, just shoot a period. No, it doesn't have to be 3-point shooting.
Left Phil, you got a 5?
Man, I got 3, man.
I need 5.
I got 3. I got Bird.
That's you cheater. You're a cheater.
You know, I got Allen, and I got Reggie Miller.
Okay.
All right, I know everybody wants to put Steph Curry in there. My reason I'm not putting
He
Steph,
just rather did three, not to play.
my reason I'm not gonna put Steph Curry in there because I still don't think his body of work is long enough. You know,
I can understand that.
I still understand we got to see a little bit more from him, a longer longevity, and him dominating. That's fine. You know who a dude that they had in the collage that a lot of people might not even remember.
Also, they don't have to be in that collage.
Oh, okay. That is true.
Okay.
Yo, but you know, and his career got cut short. Guy used to play for the Nets.
Drazen Petrovic.
Yo,
He's on my list.
Drazo,
He's on my list.
I think I would put him on the list. He didn't play that long.
So that's
but
four.
but
You need one more.
That boy had a bad jump shot.
So his life got cut short too. His career got short. So you put his great years with Curry's career so far, which is the better shooter?
I'm going with Dragic.
Okay.
You know,
wow.
And I know I got one more, but I can't think right now. So.
Steph Curry, man, stop hating, man. That's exactly what you're doing, man.
Leave 4, yo. Leave 4.
Pyro, the cameraman, you up?
Listen, man. First of all, I want to clear a little bit thing up. I think a little bit of confusion on the post where people were naming like the best 3-point shooters.
Right.
The question was shooters.
Right.
So that's why Michael Jordan it can't be no question on that list. You know what I mean? Like there was one guy who posted Bird as his top 5. Okay, you're just talking about the one aspect of the game. You know what I'm saying?
No, Bird didn't just shoot threes though.
Right, I understand, but he's not so much better than the rest of them that he would be your only name that you put on the list.
Yeah.
You know, I disagree with that.
I disagree. Yeah.
All right, so my top 5 is Drazen Petrovic, in no order, no particular order. Drazen Petrovic. I gotta put Steph up there because there's a lot of great shooters. I'm leaving guys like Hodges, like Dale Ellis off my list, who I think were great shooters because they didn't really create their own shots. The guys I'm talking about can shoot from anywhere and create their own shots.
Gotcha.
You could not stop Drazen Petrovic once you got him out of Portland from behind those players he was playing behind and got to the net. You couldn't stop him. Steph, you can't guard this dude. You can't breathe on him no more. Just like you said. Ray Allen, killer. Couldn't stop him from nowhere on the court. Yeah. Larry Bird, self-explanatory. Now, this 5th one I had a problem with. It was tough. On the post, I put Reggie Miller. But I just like the man so much, I'm dropping him off my list. I cannot say Reggie Miller, whatever.
So who replacing him?
I'm putting Mark Price on my list, man. Mark Price was dangerous. You could not stop him.
Nice.
That's my guy.
Mark Price.
I'm gonna point to his name. Let you know he was down.
Mark Price is Steve Nash before there was Steve Nash, man. He's a very underrated point guard in NBA history. Mark Price was a bad boy.
Well, my 5 is the great Larry Bird, Curry, Dell Curry. Steph is up there. Steph is up there. Mark Price, Ray Allen, and my 5th one, you just said his name, Steve Nash. When I'm talking about, he's water from the free throw line, mid-range. Steve Nash, that's my 5 right there. Steve Nash.
I'm gonna have to give me an honorable mention in real quick. I got a Glenn Rice, man. That dude can shoot, man. That dude, like, I hear the Jordan. I love Mike, but if I'm gonna put Jordan on the list for shooting, he can't even go on that list for shooting before Kobe to me. To me, I think Kobe's a better shooter than he was. Like, but Chris Mullin, I mean, just agua.
It's only 5 spots. I mean,
that's why I had to go Mullin. I gotta give Mullin agua. Like when I say I see him playing in Olympics, the original Dream Team. Yo, I'm not exaggerating. I don't think he missed. I didn't see him miss for the Olympics. He was just like the whole Olympics. I was like, yo, is he gonna miss? No, he did not miss. Like that's crazy. Like that's
So wait, I know we were supposed to move on, but Mullin, you think Mullin's a better shooter than Mark Price?
Oh me? Yeah, I do.
And
Yes. I'm not exaggerating. He didn't miss for the Olympics that I saw. He just would not miss. You know what I mean? But I mean, you can't be wrong with whoever you pick. Like all of them is great shooters. But I think definitely Steph Curry is left. He got to be on the list.
He on the list?
He got to be on. He got to be
Listen,
on the list.
he's tied to my list. Steph Curry is every type of shooter you could imagine. Off the dribble, screens, catch and shoot. Whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? Step backs, whatever. Steph Curry is everything you can imagine. He's not only that, he's taking 30, 40-foot jump shots, and they're water, like posing, going back around before that ball even gets in the basket. There's nobody better than Steph Curry.
Yeah, I might have to agree.
Y'all know what time it is, man. Oh,
Yeah.
we got to get that up. It's them locker room locks time, baby. Before we run out of time here, let's get our locks in. Y'all know what it is. It's the NFL season-long locker room contest where every week we pick our locker room locks. Can't pick the same team twice. Person with the most wins at the end of the season get a bottle. Person with the least wins is going to be singing on the air. You know, yo, I heard this Alvin and the Chipmunk Christmas song this week, right? I think that might be kind of dope for somebody to sing. Just throwing that out there. So listen. Listen, this is what we got going on. We going to start with some of the people who took some L's last week. Natural.
Yeah.
Took a little L last week with your pick. Washington over Dallas.
Oh, my God. Fumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Washington Redskins, Kirk Cousins. I thought they had a little bit of momentum from the week before. Took the division lead. They were at home against the putrid Dallas Cowboys. Matt Castle at the helm. And they kept shooting themselves in the foot. It wasn't even anything really that Dallas did. They were just fumbling, bumbling, stumbling. But I think I'll be on track. Now, you know what I mean? I'm picking the Green Bay Packers against those same Dallas Cowboys. Now, Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Your boy Aaron.
You better.
Now you
Or
need
else
his
we're going to
help.
have a whole lot to talk about next week.
You need his
Handle
help.
that.
You need his help this week.
P.S.
Yes, sir.
You took a wait before we even go there, but your record is still really good. You still have a
Oh,
great
yeah, no
record
doubt,
at
no
8 and
doubt,
4.
no doubt,
Let's
no
not
doubt.
forget that.
No doubt.
P.S. You took a L last week. You're
Yeah,
betting
man.
against them 49ers a little bit too much, huh?
Yeah, man.
So what we got going on over there?
This week I'm going with the Manningless Broncos, Denver Broncos, man. I'm going with them this week.
Broncos over the Raiders. Who's
Over the Raiders. Broncos at home.
Who's home? And Broncos
Broncos
at home,
at
right?
home,
yeah. That's a good pick, man. What's your record right now?
What is
6-6.
6-6. I'm 500.
You 500.
It was ugly earlier, so yeah, I'm doing good.
and Slim, you know, took another L last week because he was unable to get his pick in, but he's back and he got his pick in this week, and he's going with Pittsburgh. Left.
All right.
You got a win last week.
Got a win last week.
Who you picked last week? Left.
I think I won with Arizona.
Yeah,
Arizona,
You
right?
at Arizona.
Yeah, over I can't remember. My mind-
They got the win. That's all I
They
count.
got the win.
All right.
But you know, this week I'm going with my New York Giants, baby.
I think we got him. I
You
think
know, 'cause I'm telling you right
think we
now.
got you this week.
I'm telling you right now. I gave the Giants a timeout last week after that bad loss, yo. You know, I'm not even gonna get into it. But if they lose this week, I think I'm gonna have to really put them way back somewhere if they lose to Miami Dolphins.
The Giants were your Super Bowl pick, right?
Yeah, Giants are my Super Bowl pick. You know,
So
you know.
what's your record up to?
I should be I don't know.
7-5, man.
Yeah, you
7-5. You up there? You
yo.
know,
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
As long as I stay ahead of the 6-6 guys, I'm doing all right.
Right. and Don Maroc, he got a win last week. He had you won with the Bengals last week, right?
you know it.
And who we got going on this week?
I have no idea. You got to remind me.
You got I believe you got the Bills over the Phillies, right?
Oh, we got that. Shady.
Yeah.
Shady.
You know the crazy thing is
this one's for Shady and Martin Luther King on this one.
the crazy thing is my pick for this week was going to be Philly. I just wanted to stay out of your matchup. I didn't want to go against you.
I see where he's going
So
with that.
I'm gonna go with I won last week. I won with I don't even remember who I won with last. No, Pittsburgh.
It's
something
like that. You don't even remember,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that.
So this week I got the Bucks.
The Bucks.
I got the Bucks over the Saints, man. You know, our record stands 10-2, doing real good so far. We got 3 weeks left after this week. Yeah. Three more picks, so you know it's getting kind of tight. So you know that's your locker room locks, baby.
No doubt.
Yo, check it out. We got a caller. We got a caller.
Yeah, our first ever caller.
Let's let me see if this joint is live. We don't really take too much calls, so let's make sure this thing is right. What it say right here?
Yep.
Caller, are you there? State your name.
What's up? It's the franchise I can use the rock with New York.
We got Steve Francis on the line right now,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen.
what it
do, what
Give
it
it up
do?
for him. Turn them up. That was a loud little clap for you, bro. Hello? I think we lost him. We lost him. Call
Technical
back.
difficulties.
Call back. We get a chance.
Technical difficulties. We still here though.
All right, well, let's keep the show moving until he calls back.
Yeah, that was Steve Francis. Y'all know, ex-NBA player,
The franchise.
the great all-star, called in. We lost the connection. We're gonna get him back on the line, though, hopefully before the show's over.
No doubt.
So, while we waiting for him to call back, let's talk a little bit about Popovich made some comments in the league this year about 3-point shooting and how he hates 3-point shooters. 3-point shooting and how he thinks is bad for the game. And after he said that, I saw a couple games this week where like teams were down by 1 or 2 in the final seconds of games, and they launching up threes and losing the game. What do y'all think?
Hold on, we back.
Let's go.
Yo, I only call my girl back, my wife, man.
Ah!
I got lucky.
All right, so we
I got
even.
called back.
So we even on this one.
It's a safe bet, as we say in DC. It's a safe bet, right?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man? How you been doing, man?
I'm good, man. When I was up there, man, I knew I was supposed to come in, but when the University of Maryland called your phone and the president of the university, like Steve, acknowledged you at the Garden, I think politically you got to make the right decision, So, but ain't no love lost. I always love coming to New York City, you know that.
No doubt. I understood. That's why I was like, it's no hard feelings. Just call up, and I'm happy for that. Now, listen, I saw you was at the game last night. You was at the Kobe Bryant game last night, right?
Yeah, he came to my house for a little while. He came to Toyota Center. It was great.
My house. I like that.
Yeah.
So, like,
I can see somebody that I had battles with.
a lot of battles.
Some legendary battles.
So speaking of that, like, you see Kobe going through his farewell. So when did you know that, you know what, it's time for me to hang up the sneakers and call it a career? When did you know it was time?
I think it was like my last year here in Houston. We had got a new coach, and I just got traded from up there from the Knicks,
Right.
which I was excited to come back to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I couldn't play in front of, no disrespect to nobody, when I couldn't play in front of the person that was in front of me,
Yeah.
and the whole crowd screamed my name, I was like, "This is enough of this." Now my wife and my kids sitting courtside and the crowd yelling my name, and the coach not really knowing the history of me in the city. So I was, out of respect, I was like, I'm gonna let him do his thing, and I'm gonna continue, being a man. You know what I'm saying? Basketball ain't always, your whole life.
No doubt. Well, some of the panel, we got some questions for you, so shoot away.
Yo, Steve, this is Adriel the Natural. I did go to the University of Maryland that one season that you were there. That was a really exciting time down there in Maryland. I had a lot of fun. Too much fun, actually. I kind of failed out of school that year, man. I was having so much fun. Tell them, man, that DC fun is no joke.
Yeah.
Question.
It was different.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said it was different for me, just with me being from there, being from home. And playing in front of the home crowd, that was tough.
Oh, okay. All right. There's a couple things that I've always wanted to find out about where your mind state were. 2 things, okay? I know you were very, very upset the first time you got traded from the Rockets to the Magic. I want you to elaborate on what was going on in your mind during that time, and also your experience with the Knicks playing under Larry Brown.
Oh, man.
I'm going to assume that oh man was for the second question, too.
Oh, man. It was, getting traded from the Rockets. Of course, you always want to, play where you want to play. And, of course, for myself, the thing about it that was just so wild is that the week before I got traded, I went personally asked the coach. I was like, hey, if you're going to trade me, let me know because I got plans, for the next couple months. And, of course, Jeff Van Gundy was the coach at the time. And he said, nah, I'm not going to trade you. So, I took it as that. And I'm on vacation, and people calling me. So that was the only tough part. But I still, reside here in Houston. Been here for 16 years, back and forth between here, Florida, and Washington, D.C. So that was tough. But, the New York experience is exactly what I just said, an experience.
Yes,
I'm sure you have more fun off the court than on the court.
You know what? I really didn't get a chance because I live all the way up in White Plains. So,
Okay.
sometimes I would go out because we always had practice and stuff. I didn't want to belong to the city every time. But when I did it big.
No
No
doubt.
doubt. Yo, Steve, what's going on, man? It's PS Dot. I got a question for you. check. How does it feel? You know what I mean? This is a personally important question to me. You were probably in one of the most memorable dunk contests of all time, man, with Vince Carter. And a lot of people remember that. When you look back on that experience, what does it make you think about? Because a lot of people don't remember. I mean, because Vince was doing what he was doing. Yo, you was getting busy.
His first dunk was
getting busy.
His first dunk was a 50.
Yeah. Like, when you think back and look at that, what do you think about it?
It was, I mean, everything is political, you know what I'm saying, to me, and I hate to have to say that because even before it began, they already knew who they thought was going to win it. So, I mean, going against it, all of us is in an uphill battle, not only myself and all the other guys, but, I mean, to me, it was a great experience for me. At least I know that, you know, I was able to compete in something I dreamed in there.
Yeah, that's top 3.
All my life.
Top 3 dunk contests all time. Easy.
Left field, you up?
Hey, Steve, this is left field right here. I got a quick question. What would you say is your single greatest moment of your NBA career?
I mean, but of course, even though it didn't look like it when I got drafted, I mean, that right there, the burden of not having to ask nobody for a ride, because I wasn't one of those college people that took money from people, because my block had me, so I didn't have to go nowhere to get the money, no agents or none of that. So I was blessed with that, but just to hear my name getting called, so I didn't have to worry about those other things that come with that.
No doubt.
All right,
Okay, I got one question. It's Adriel the Natural once again. I want to know, who is the most overrated player you ever competed against? Come on now, we say what they can on the locker room, man.
We let you slide with the Larry Brown thing. We're not letting you slide with this one.
100. It had to be Trajan Langdon and Duke.
Oh, man. Trajan Langdon.
He was Duke.
I agree.
I think a lot of Duke players are overrated. That's a whole nother story.
I mean, he was a good shooter. You seen a shooter shoot right now that can play. They kid out in Golden State. But Trajan Langdon definitely was one of the most overrated players.
Well, let's stick with this theme of this kid from Golden State. Now, first I was telling my when I told my stepson you may be coming on the show, he was like, yo, he's young. So I'm like, yo, he never saw him play. I'm like, well, you see Russell Westbrook? He was like probably the first Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose type player, that 6'3" physical, athlete. But what would be your mindset going against a player like Curry that's so hot right now? How would you attack him? What would be your approach to that game?
Beat him to 50.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Beat him to 50. That's the only way, because I'm not going to play DE now. Let's just go to 50. We're going to win.
You know what? That's interesting, because that's going to tie us into a heavy debate that we have on this show on a weekly basis. It's basically about the dynamics of the Los Angeles Clippers with Chris Paul and how he competed against Steph Curry in their last matchup, to where a lot of guys were killing Chris Paul for trying to outscore Steph Curry in that game. And me personally, I said that he was doing exactly what he did. I don't know if you saw that game or you pay attention to the Steph Curry Chris Paul matchups. How did you feel about how Chris Paul was attacking Steph Curry in their last matchup?
I think it was good, but that was not really that's not his game. I mean,
There you go.
Facilitator. I mean, he can score. If he's scoring, but when he tries to score too much, that kind of gets away from their system. But if it's personal, I mean, at any given night, hey, if he's feeling that way, more power to him if you want to go ahead and demand it's at the top of the food chain right now.
Yep, Steve Francis, this is Pyro from the Locker Room, man. I just want to say, first of all, you're one of my favorite players of all time, period.
Appreciate it.
One question we ask a lot of guests who come on the show, do you have a Mount Rushmore? Top 4 players of all time. Do you have a list?
In sports or
in basketball?
Or
NBA.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Are you asking who my top 4
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go. It depends the eras and all of those type of things. So even for this era, I mean, you can put LeBron in it, but there's probably because we're seeing it. So I never have like a top 4 because you never know in that era. Like if we were in the 40s, 50s, 60s, or whatever, we will probably be saying like there'll never be another player better than that player, so I never get into those type of things.
That's true.
But
All right.
Michael Jordan #1 though.
No doubt.
Say that.
Well, listen, a lot of people don't know you done transferred to the music business, right?
I've been doing it, but David Stearns he keep a muzzle on his players. I tried it.
Well,
I tried it, you see what happens.
So what you got going on right now in the music?
I've been doing it over like the last 16 years. Maserati Music, I'm from DC.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be the first independent music company out of DC. And I think I got the right weapons. And it's not like we have to go anywhere. Like all my guys are authentically DC to life, like real, and you're gonna get the real story, not the watered down.
How many artists do you have? How many artists do you have?
We got my godson, Young Tuffy.
Yeah, give him the plugs.
Young Tuffy, 17. He just dropped Young and Gifted last Friday. In the first 24 hours, he got like 170 something hits on it. So,
Nice.
but we got him. We got Dynamite Diggs. We got Fat, the big fella from DC. Gotta get somebody from Houston down here with JP, Fifth Ward. So
Okay.
we got a hell of a roster, man. And you're gonna be surprised. Y'all gonna be like, damn, Steve. Nah, it's about the whole aura of DC, and y'all gonna definitely feel it.
All right. Listen, we're not gonna be surprised, man. We know what you do, man. You're the franchise. Y'all want to thank you for calling, man. I really appreciated you, a man of your word. You kept your word, and that's all I can ask for, man.
I'm gonna come in when I come back. I'll be up there more than you know.
No,
I'll definitely check in.
no doubt. Make sure you bring your artists with you so we can have them freestyle. We could put them to that New York test and see what they do.
Oh, one question. Being
Yeah,
that
DC ain't too far from New York, so we here.
9-5 South, I hear you.
Yo, Steve,
All right, my man.
one question real quick. Being that you're from DC, do you got any go-go artists on your label or no?
Yeah, TCB Band, my boy Rock Mikey. Y'all ever heard that song, Sexy Lady?
Mm-hmm.
That's from DC that Wale be singing. Wale played in our band, actually, before he was a solo artist. He played in our band, so you can check out TCB.
Oh, okay.
All right, Steve, man. We see you when you come to New York, man.
I'll let y'all know. I'll give you a heads up.
No doubt. Stay good.
All right. Take care.
100.
Listen, man, you never know who might call up when we get a call, man. So listen, we got a few minutes. We talk about Pop, right?
Yeah,
We got a
yeah.
few minutes. Let's go. Let's get back into that.
Oh, quick on the comments he made. I'm just giving my quick take on it. I see where he was coming from because, okay, the game is transition. It's a 3-point league now, and I get it. But every team doesn't have a Golden State roster. What I hate to see is I'm watching a fast break and dudes fading to the 3-point line. I think it is becoming like a circus when you don't even have the weapons to try to hit the threes that you're trying to hit. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all about 3-pointers. I'll take an easy, uncontested 2 any day. And I think that's a lost art with all this analytics and, just a layup is a layup, man. Like, I can put it like this. I can hit more layups than threes. I know that for a fact. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to mix it up. It's going too much, like anything. It's going too much to the left.
Natural, real quick, because we don't got that much time. But you made a good point. You think Pop was, he was
I'm
up to
just playing
something. He
a
had
little
something up his sleeve.
possum because it doesn't make any sense because the San Antonio Spurs, their recent success is based off of the 3-point shot. So I think it was really a dig at Golden State. Maybe he's just like a lot of people who are just tired of seeing Golden State just riding high, just dominating people. But I think it's really a setup to, get cats to be like, okay, maybe I might not shoot a 3, maybe I will, but maybe Pop might not be shooting 3s as much because when I watch San Antonio games, they be launching all over the place. Now, I do agree with PS in terms of like having the personnel, and I've been saying this for a few weeks now. The NBA has an epidemic. Shooters that can't shoot. Okay? If you can't shoot, stop shooting. Get to the rim, get to the foul line, and be productive.
Any names?
There's a lot. There's too many to name, man. Jeez.
All right, listen. Before we go, I'm gonna have to fire off, and this one is gonna hurt a little bit. This one is gonna hurt a little bit. We were supposed to do a segment a couple weeks ago about when is it time to go. And Roy Jones, this one's for you, man. He got knocked out last night, man. It was pretty bad, and it's time, man. I know maybe you don't want to spend some time with the kids. I don't know your finance. I don't know what's going on, but there's always a studio somewhere. There's Chick-fil-A, anything, UPS. it's time, man. I think you're one of the greatest boxers I've ever seen in my life, but it hurts to see you. It's about that time. Man.
How old is he? Ain't he like 50? Yeah, he's up there. He's close.
Yeah, he's close. It's time. And then he's been boxing since he was young, so it's about that time. So my fire off is Roy Jones. Let's hang up the gloves and call it a career. You have nothing to prove. It's over. Yeah. Listen, we're going to see y'all next week. We want to thank Steve Francis for calling up. We did a phenomenal job. We was the cameraman. We was on the mic. We did everything today, and that's just how we do. Peace.
Locker room, yo.